Hello and welcome to the Weekly Gaming News, name very much pending. This is a video idea that is definitely not original or new, but it's something that I wanted to start making anyways. This was inspired by Arlo's Nintendo News Roundups and will quickly cover a variety of gaming-related headlines over the past week or so, give or take a little bit. Most of it will be Nintendo related and just things that I think are neat. I'd like to start doing these weekly, but since I'm mostly a one-man band around here, we'll see if that happens. But hey, let's not dilly-dally too much and jump into the news segments because there's a ton. Oh my gosh, there's a ton. This was the week to start this, I think, because there was a lot. Also, if I sound funny, I'm currently getting over a throat infection, which has been not very fun, if I'm honest. It's not been very fun. But yeah, let's go. Let's get started with all of these headlines. First up today, we have the Teraleak from Game Freak. Try saying that 3 times fast. Leaks and Nintendo honestly seem to go hand in hand these days, but man, this one is a doozy. A massive leak has come out of Game Freak with approximately 1 terabyte worth of Pokemon information leaking to the public. The leaks include the Heart Gold Soul Silver source code, the Black and White 2 source code, cut lore from the Pokemon games, a lot of beta sprites, concept art, confirmation that the Switch 2's codename is Ounce, confirmation that Pokemon Gen 10 or codename Gaia is under development as we speak for codename Ounce, aka, again, the Switch 2. Music, including some Lady Gaga music? Huh. And just a whole lot of stuff, even some stuff about the anime and maybe even some upcoming movies. People are still sifting through everything, so I imagine that we're gonna see a lot more leaks come out over the next couple of weeks. Now, of course, as soon as there's a leak, things just go bananas. People start claiming that they have this, they have that, I've seen some people claiming that they have the Pokemon Legends ZA source code as well as source code belonging to the Gen 10 games, but I have really not seen any firm confirmation of that yet as of this recording. As with all leaks and all claims like this, take everything with a giant chunk of salt. These leaks really have taken the world by storm over the past couple of days. I was actually out of town when everything leaked, and I came back to basically a veritable whirlwind of just news coming out everywhere about what people were finding. A Pokemon origin myth has been found in the text, for instance, as well as some incredibly interesting stories about some of the Pokemon, Octillery and Typhlosion in particular, getting some, we'll call it unique lore that is definitely not for the faint of heart to read. Just as a fair warning, I won't go into detail, but there's a lot of stuff about humans and Pokemon. We'll leave it at that. Unfortunately, in all of this, it seems as though over 2,000 employees of Game Freak have been affected by this leak. Their personal information has been released to the public and leaked out for people to find. I think we can all agree that that's a very bad thing. As cool as it is to dig through all of the unused sprites and be horrified by the scrapped lore, the fact that this all came at the cost of the privacy and potential safety of others, that's really upsetting. And I really do feel for these employees, and I really, really hope they're doing okay. Remember that doxing is never okay. And if you see that information floating around out there, let's be good people and not contribute to it spreading. The well-being of others is never worth leaked information about a silly Pocket Monster game. Moving on. Next, we have a rumor regarding the region of Gen 10 for Pokemon. An alleged leaker by the name of Koo Beating Around the Bush has been hinting about things related to Pokemon Legends ZA and Gen 10. Again, as with all alleged leaks, please consume responsibly and, again, with that giant chunk of salt. I won't be going over everything just because of the nature of this leak being relatively random, and I don't think there's much substance behind this one, but I thought it was interesting enough to bring up. The leak from Koo seems to be implying that Gen 10's region will have a lot of water. Since Gen 10's codename is Gaia, this has led a lot of people to speculate that the next region will be based off of Greece. There are some other bits in Scarlet and Violet that could corroborate that speculation, that theory, but it is all still speculation, and I would not be surprised if we went in a totally different direction for the next generation. We all thought Legends Kyurem was pretty much guaranteed after Arceus, so it could really be something else. I mean, we just never know. We just never know. But I mostly bring this up because I was just in Greece a couple of weeks ago, and if this does turn out to be true, that is a heck of a funny coincidence. Lovely place, by the way. Great food, amazing scenery, amazing people. Moving on. Next up, the mysterious Nintendo playtest. This week on October 10th, Nintendo opened applications for a mysterious playtest. There were 10,000 slots, and they filled within seconds. Just mere seconds. Nobody knows what this playtest is for, as the playtest window won't open until later on down the month. Specifically, it opens October 23rd and will remain open until November 5th. They have politely asked that people do not leak what the playtest will entail, which I'm sure will absolutely get ignored because let's be real, people love their sweet internet clout way too much to not spill the tea. That's why we got all these darn leaks, I tell you. People just want to be that guy. Anyways, I look forward to covering the leaks about the playtest in the future. Sorry, not sorry, Nintendo. I personally thought about trying to apply, but then I remembered that I love sleep too much to wake up that early. If you did get in, congrats. If you didn't, well, that's a bummer. What Nintendo could be playtesting has been a source of speculation for the last couple of days, with some people suggesting maybe it's an upgraded version of the NSO that includes GameCube games. Some people are also suggesting it could be a new feature for Switch 2. NSO's expansion did just celebrate 3 years this week, which feels kind of wild to me. I feel like that just came out. It's already been 3 years. Oh my gosh. Nintendo did tease that there was more on the way, so I kind of lean towards the playtest being NSO related, but we'll just have to wait and see what it is. Next up, a look at a lost level from Star Fox 64. Over on YouTube, ElarixGames has gotten a lost level from Star Fox 64 up and running. This is the lost level known as Battleship, which is an evident throwback reminiscent of Star Fox 2's Battleship encounters. Unfortunately, a good portion of the level's data is lost, so there's not really anything like dialogue. It does seem like the level would have played Bols's music, and it would have had 2 sections within the level. This level even comes with an icon, which would have appeared on the overworld map, and it looks like it would have taken the spot that later would be Sector Y. Very, very neat stuff, by the way. Kudos to you for getting this working. Next up, another RAM dump of BanjoKazooie reveals some really cool hidden gems. According to BanjoKazooie speedrunner and glitch hunter TSR Stormed, 2 more RAM dumps of BanjoKazooie were in fact discovered last month. These dumps are dated back to 1997, which predates the release of BanjoKazooie, which came out in '98. In these dumps, a variety of things have been discovered, with, in my opinion, the most notable findings being the beta iteration of Clinker's Cavern and a slightly modified version of Treasure Trove Cove. The beta version of Clinker's Cavern has been rumored to have been wildly different from what we got on release and went by the name Fungus Forest. The concept of Fungus Forest was scrapped and is believed to have served as the major inspiration for Donkey Kong 64's Fungi Forest level. It seems pretty likely that Fungus Forest may actually be in a state where it could be restored, somewhat, or maybe even fully. So I definitely look forward to seeing that in the future. Next up, Bandai Namco cancels multiple projects and addresses a troubling rumor. News has broken out on October 15th that Bandai Namco has canceled a numerous amount of projects due to low demand, and they have even begun reducing their staff. The rumor is that Bandai Namco is pressuring employees to leave voluntarily by placing them into rooms and effectively just giving them nothing to do. This employee exit practice has been recorded worldwide, but is known in Japan as oidashi beya, and is typically not formally recognized by companies, even though it may actually be happening behind the scenes. Bandai Namco has, of course, adamantly reassured everyone that despite numerous projects being canceled and despite reports of oidashi beya happening at the company, that nothing of the sort is happening. Now, you might be wondering, why there would even be something like that existing in the first place. It really boils down to labor protection laws. In Japan in particular, it is actually pretty difficult to fire somebody. So some companies allegedly think that it is easier to simply pressure people out of their job. So that is why something like this could be happening. Say that Bandai Namco felt like they needed to downsize, but they could not legally just get rid of employees. I'm not saying it's happening. I am just saying there are reports of it happening. I am the messenger. I'm just reporting on what's allegedly happening. It is definitely a rumor that got a lot of attention very quickly on the internet, and Bandai Namco quickly issued the following statement. Our decisions to discontinue games are based on comprehensive assessments of the situation. Some employees may need to wait a certain amount of time before they are assigned to their next project, but we do move forward with assignments as new projects emerge. There is no organization like an Oidashi Beya at Bandai Namco Studios designed to pressure people to leave voluntarily. While they have denied pressuring employees to leave the company, they did confirm that various projects have been canceled. As far as the canceled projects are concerned, we do know that it involves a One Piece title, a Naruto title, and a project commissioned by Nintendo. Nothing has been confirmed about the Nintendo title, although I will say I speculated a while back, you might remember this in a YouTube short, that it was some form of remaster for Star Fox Assault. I did a small, little short on it, like I said, and I think I talked about that in another video. If that's true, mega bummer. If not, still a mega bummer for somebody. Moving on. Next, Concord might be back? Huh? In a surprise twist of necromancy and the unyielding strength of capitalism, Concord may actually be returning from its very fresh grave, which is honestly something I did expect to say, but definitely not this soon. If, for some reason, you don't know what Concord is, it was a multiplayer hero shooter from Sony. It lasted maybe 2 weeks, if not less, before being shut down, basically due to lack of sales. It's probably considered one of the biggest video game failures in recent memory, a sort of modern ET for the Atari, if you will. Concord's vibe could be described basically as off-brand Guardians of the Galaxy, and it plays like Overwatch. And the trailer that they showed wowed absolutely nobody whenever they were announcing this game, and it released basically to the blissful sound of cricket chirps and tumbleweeds rolling across the dusty old Kansan road. Anyways, Concord, it got shut down, but apparently there's been a few Steam updates for the game, implying that something is going on, despite the game having been taken offline. We do know that devs were looking into other alternatives for the game, and while I do suspect we'll see some form of resurrection, I really just didn't expect any movement this soon. Now, what these updates could mean is maybe there's something happening behind the scenes, but really we don't have anything else to go off of. So we'll just have to wait and see what they're gonna try to do to bring this one back, because it's gonna be rough. Oh, it's gonna be rough. And next, Xbox Game Studios gets a new head of operations. The head of Rareware, Craig Duncan, has been announced as the future head of Xbox Game Studios. This comes alongside the announcement that the current head, Alan Hartman, is retiring at the end of November. If you're not really familiar with what Xbox Game Studio does for Xbox, basically it's a publisher for Xbox. It works to get games out for Microsoft's gaming division. The head for the Xbox Game Studios does oversee first-party studios and just, it gets games out. This decision to promote Craig Duncan has been met with, I would say, kind of lukewarm response. Rareware right now, in its current state, a lot of people are very familiar with Sea of Thieves, and while Sea of Thieves has a very dedicated fan base, other than that game, Rareware's output for just releasing games has not exactly been great. Really, there's been kind of a deficit of Rareware games, although they did release a Battletoads game, I believe that was in 2020. A lot of people are nervous that this new change of leadership isn't really going to address the issue that people have been having with Xbox, and that's that they just want to have games to play. They want to have games to play on their Xbox. However, it's a bit early. It's a bit early to tell how this is gonna go. Who knows? Maybe suddenly we get all those games. Maybe suddenly we get that Banjo 3. And for our final segment today, Nintendo made an alarm clock, but only for single people. And also it can make sounds that sound like you're getting shot at in Splatoon. You can't make this up, can ya? Anyways, yes, they have made an alarm clock. It does have the ability to play various sounds from, I believe, 5 Nintendo games, 5 Nintendo titles from the Switch. And apparently it is actually selling so well in Japan that they have to do a lottery system to distribute this item, which is absolutely baffling to me. But pop off, I guess, people who are going head over heels for the Alarmo. You know, there's something for everybody out there. There really is, even if I don't understand and don't see the appeal at all. But you know what? I'm not gonna yuck your yum. Nintendo Alarmo, everybody, for all of your alarm clock needs. But only if you're single. And that concludes our first, and hopefully not last, episode of Weekly Gaming. What did I call this again? Weekly Gaming News today? I don't know. What should I call this? I don't know. If you have a suggestion though, leave it in the comments. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and look forward to a lot more videos in the very near future. Hopefully, unless this stupid bacterial infection continues to destroy my throat, which would be not ideal at all. That would actually be terrifying. Let's hope that doesn't happen. I got a lot to talk about. Got a lot of videos in the works. I've been cooking. I've been cooking a lot. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and let me know if you like the news section, if you like the news video. You know, I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun little video. Bye!